Guys, China could be dropping a $420 billion bomb. Not all in the crypto market, but some on the crypto market. We've heard rumblings, whispers, rumors that China could be allowing crypto onto their mainland. Now, that would be a big market in itself. We know that Hong Kong has crypto, it has several exchanges. The mainland has not followed suit. But China's economy is getting very, very desperate. I think it's been shrinking for the last couple of years. We don't really know for sure because the government doesn't actually allow any third parties to look at or audit their data. I do remember at an international conference where they basically said only 9 million Chinese people died last year. Like, not just, this is not for COVID, this is like in total. And based on an average of the human lifespan, and for China's population, 1.4 billion, you'd have about 90 million people like dying every year. So one of the international people just asked them, so how did your deaths go from 90 million down to like 9 million in 1 year? Did people just stop dying? And the Chinese official was like, yeah, they did. And then, like, obviously no one believed that. So those numbers the government actually makes in China, because no one can audit them and no one can actually look at their methodology, unlike, the United States and other Western countries, much less dependable. And obviously, like, the 9 million deaths was just like completely nonsense, because people don't just randomly stop dying just because you need your statistics to actually make sense, obviously. So, and based on like, internal projections and like external numbers, the Chinese economy has actually been shrinking, as well as the Chinese population. They've been shrinking for a couple of years now, but the government just hasn't come out with it. So they're not quite in Russia's stance, obviously, where Putin's basically desperate for anything to boost up the economy. So he's like super, super bullish about Bitcoin at this point. But they might be getting there where they're going to actually allow Bitcoin to try to like control the flow of the economy, because it's really not working for them. And to actually help with their country's economy, they are talking about a $420 billion stimulus. That's huge. Now, I think the US during COVID, there was a $350 billion stimulus, but the total stimulus was actually greater than that. But that was, most of the stimulus went to companies and PPP loans and stuff like that, and people didn't really buy crypto with that. The $350 billion went directly to families and individuals, and that's what people actually bought crypto with. So this stimulus could be actually bigger than that one, but obviously per person, Chinese people are not going to spend as much as American people. American people have way more disposable income. The average salary in China is like several times lower than the United States. And even though some stuff is cheaper, a lot of the stuff like, iPhones and stuff, computers and stuff, it costs about the same. And the difference in salary is not quite as, is actually much greater than the difference in the cost of stuff. So they don't have as much disposable income. Therefore, like the real purchasing power of each Chinese individual is actually much less than each American individual. So they won't have as much disposable income to invest in crypto, but $420 billion is still a lot of money. And if they do actually end up allowing crypto into their system, and people are allowed to buy it, even if it's just Bitcoin and Ethereum, that could be a significant bump for crypto when everything else is happening. When do I expect this to happen? If it actually does happen, if it's not just all smoke and mirrors, which it all could be, I expect it to happen early next year. Because, if Xi Jinping gets really desperate about the economy to pump it back up, and everyone knows the economy is like going downward and has been for a while, he could actually pull the trigger really, really fast. And if he thinks crypto is the only way, he could actually allow crypto back into China, which would be a huge, huge boon for the country. And I also think it would make America more competitive, because they don't want to lose that edge to China. Because right now, they're not really going to lose the edge to China, because China doesn't even allow crypto for transactions and stuff on the mainland. So that's a big deal right now. The second thing I wanted to mention is Google has chosen a partner for blockchain Oracle accelerated growth, and it's not a big blockchain partner. It's actually this thing called Gora Network. So if you see Gora Network actually completely blow up, this is why. So Google partnership to accelerate blockchain Oracle growth. The blockchain Oracle network has also been selected as a community partner for Token 2049 Singapore 2024. Blockchain Oracle Network Gora becomes a participant of Google's prestigious startup program for Web3 projects. It's more of an incubator, but because it's been picked by Google, that might generate some FOMO. So Gora Network, obviously only $1.4 million market cap, $12,000 volume, so you can't buy very much of it right now. As you can see today, it's already gone up 60% in volume. So this could actually be a gem. because Google has actually picked it. And if nothing else, there could definitely be some FOMO. As you can see, this FOMO was before Google picked them as a partner. This was back in April, and now it's down in the dumps again. But since Google's actually picked up Gora, and I do think this is actually Gora, this particular one, you can see like right now, 16 days ago, like recently, Gora joins Google's Web3 startup program, receives 200K cloud credits to expand operations. So like this partnership isn't as much of a partnership as an incubator program, but they're calling it a partnership, which I know is somewhat sketchy, but I think that's what it'll ring as to a lot of crypto investors. And you could see a lot of money coming into this stuff. Obviously, I still wouldn't buy very much of it because it is very risky and there's almost no liquidity. But if you want to throw like $200-300 at this and see where it comes out, remember $1.47 million in market cap. Even if you throw like $200 at it, it goes to $147 million in market cap, which is totally possible. You end up with like 20 grand. And I think the value there, the risk reward factor is probably worth it. Obviously, I wouldn't throw more than a couple $100 at it because I wouldn't want to risk losing more than that at it. But Google did actually pick this for one of their incubator programs. So it's got some FOMO to it now, the Web3 program. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.